So this book is about a boy who doesn't realise he's a wizard.
Since 1997, over 500 million copies of the Harry Potter books have been sold, making it the best-selling book series of all time. The Harry Potter film series is the third highest-grossing series of all time, only falling behind the Star Wars
I am your father.
and Marvel franchises. So how did J.K. Rowling do it? Well, if the answer isn't witchcraft, it just might be the sheer number of cultural, historical, and literary allusions packed into her wizarding universe. In many ways, the world of Harry Potter is a meeting point for centuries of myth. Here's a look at some of the many hidden myths and legends packed into the wizarding world. If you'd like to see more episodes about films, be sure to give us a like and tell us which topics you want to learn about next. Some of the legends behind Harry Potter are fairly well known. For example, the Philosopher's Stone is based on a story about Nicholas Flamel.
Of course, here it is. Nicholas Flamel is the only known maker of the Philosopher's Stone.
A 14th century scribe who claimed to have discovered a stone, giving him eternal life. Since Nicholas died in 1418, it seems likely that the stone's powers were slightly exaggerated.
Are you a ghost? No, I'm alive. Nicolas Flamel.
Jacob Kowalski.
Oh.
Two of the biggest influences behind Harry Potter are even more important to the series, but are likely less commonly known: the Arthurian legends and the myths of ancient Greece. One of the oldest and most familiar legends in British culture influenced Rowling: the story of King Arthur. Arthurian legends can be traced back to the Mabinogion, a 12th century Welsh compilation of oral tales. Since then, the story of Arthur has been weaved by centuries of scholars, including Geoffrey of Monmouth, Creton of Troy, and Monty Python. In particular, Rowling was influenced by a 12th century retelling, a fantasy series called The Once and Future King by T.H. White. In TOFK, White tells the story of King Arthur's childhood and education. Throughout her series, Rowling draws heavily from White. Even the basic plot is similar. A spindly orphan boy becomes the unexpected chosen one.
I can't be a wizard. I mean, I'm just Harry.
And is mentored by an old bearded wizard. In White, this is Merlin. In Harry Potter, this is Dumbledore. Rowling even makes periodic references to Merlin as a historical wizard in the Harry Potter world. In addition, Rowling reuses some of White's character names, such as Arthur's wife, Jenny, or Guinevere, which is changed to Ginny or Ginevra. Drawing Arthurian legend from a classic fantasy text means that, like the wizarding world itself, Rowling's Arthurian influence is a hybrid of both the medieval and modern. Other Arthurian texts like Sir Gawain and the Green Knight, a 14th century romance, also influenced Rowling. Again, this is evident in the basic plot. In Sir Gawain, the hero goes through a series of magical trials which test his character. He is faced with certain death at the hands of the Green Knight, and is purposely tempted with an object which he believes will give him immortality. In the end, the final trial is that the knight must rely upon his own courage rather than magic. Sir Gawain decides to accept his fate and face the Green Knight unassisted. Sir Gawain's journey mirrors Harry's own series of trials and his inevitable standoff with he who must not be named, Voldemort, where he discards the Philosopher's Stone and faces him with bravery. In addition to classic British myth, Rowling was greatly influenced by Greek mythology. Here are some clear examples. First, aspects of Homer's Odyssey appear regularly, from the sirens to the distinctive scar on the hero's face. Secondly, the return of Cedric's body in the Goblet of Fire stems from a passage in Homer's Iliad, where Achilles returns his enemy's body to his father and weeps for him. Third, Rowling's animals and beasts, such as the Chimera and Centaur, often originate in Greek mythology. For example, Fox, the phoenix, derives from the tales of Herodotus, and Fluffy, Hagrid's multi-headed guard dog, is based upon Cerberus, the multi-headed dog who guards the underworld. One of the most direct references to Greek mythology is a preface to the Deathly Hallows. This preface quotes a message from the Libation Bearers by Aeschylus. According to Rowling, this quote is key to the entire series. We don't have time to unpack it entirely. However, we will say that the Libation Bearers is part of a trilogy of tragedies featuring a boy who fulfills his prophecy by avenging his father's death, and also happens to have a scar on his head. In the Libation Bearers, outcast youth struggle to restore proper rule to an unjust realm. The series also has major thematic connections. For example, one of the themes in Aeschylus' work is that violence is cyclical. Like Rowling, Aeschylus suggests that peace will only come through self-sacrifice. Both the Arthurian and Greek legends above have shared a commitment to love, self-sacrifice, and courage. They deal with prophecy, duty, fate, and acceptance. In the end, the myths and legends behind Harry Potter go much further than simple names and references. They aren't Easter eggs or gimmicks. Instead, they give the tale its structure, its heart, and its thematic soul. Harry Potter is an unmistakably British tale, so it should be no surprise that it pulls heavily from the British canon, referring to and borrowing from the likes of Shakespeare, Milton, Chaucer, and Austen. Rowling also pulls from Greeks like Plato and Romans like Ovid. Throughout, Rowling engages with and embeds her tale in the dominant works of the Western canon. Like other British fantasy authors before her, such as Tolkien and White, Rowling combines timeless sources with attention to a new generation, creating a new myth for the modern era and capturing the hearts and minds of millions. Which myth or legend have you found the most interesting? Can you think of any other influences behind Harry Potter? If so, feel free to comment below. Also, don't forget to give us a like and subscribe to our channel so we can continue making even more great content for you.
X